Marcus had always been a man of deep conviction, but his path to the wild was not one he had planned. From a young age, he had felt an undeniable connection to nature, a bond that was forged in the silence of the forests and the vastness of the plains. But it wasn't until a traumatic event turned his life upside down that he decided to leave behind everything he knew and become a park ranger in the heart of Africa. The death of his brother in a tragic accident shattered Marcus. The pain was unbearable, and the grief ran deep. But in the midst of this overwhelming sorrow, nature, wild, raw, and untamed, called to him. It felt like the only place where he could heal. The deep African savanna, where life and death danced in every gust of wind, offered a kind of peace he had long been seeking. Here, in the boundless wilderness, Marcus found a purpose that was greater than anything he had ever known. However, what he didn't expect was that this purpose would soon lead him to face challenges beyond his wildest imagination. Challenges that would test the very core of who he was. Marcus was assigned to a region where a lion, Zola, had become a menace. Zola was not just any lion. This majestic creature had once been part of a pride, but after being cast out, he had become a lone wanderer, mistrustful of humans, driven by survival. Zola's presence in the area was a threat to the local population, and Marcus was tasked with ensuring the lion was removed for the safety of everyone. But something about Zola's story struck a chord with Marcus. He saw more than just a dangerous predator in the lion. He saw a creature that, much like him, was broken and alone. Zola wasn't just wild. He was a soul fighting against the odds, struggling with his own pain and loss. Marcus couldn't help but feel a strange respect for the lion, something deeper than fear, something that made him question whether there was more to this wild creature than met the eye. At first, Marcus tried everything he could to approach Zola, but each attempt was met with resistance. Zola would watch him from a distance, his eyes filled with distrust. The lion was not ready to trust him, not yet. It was clear that gaining Zola's trust would not be easy. Every encounter was a silent challenge. The lion would move just out of reach, as if daring Marcus to come closer. But Marcus understood. He knew that trust was not something you could demand. It had to be earned, slowly and patiently. So instead of trying to force a connection, Marcus began to take a different approach. He started to simply be there, not as a threat, but as a presence. Every day, he would visit the area where Zola roamed. He didn't try to get close or force an interaction. Instead, he made sure there was food and water for the lion. He tended to the environment around him, ensuring that the lion had everything he needed to survive. Day by day, Marcus began to notice subtle changes. Zola, at first distant, started to approach. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Slowly, Marcus began to see the lion not as an enemy, but as a companion in the struggle for survival. They were both creatures of the wild, each dealing with their own battles, each searching for a place to belong. Then one day, the unexpected happened. As Marcus was tending to the area, a herd of elephants appeared, charging toward him. In the wild, elephants are known to be powerful and protective, and they didn't take kindly to intruders. Marcus could feel the ground shake as the massive creatures approached, ready to trample him. In a moment of pure instinct, Zola, the lion who had once been an enemy, did something Marcus could never have anticipated. Instead of running or attacking him, Zola ran toward the elephants, his mighty roar echoing across the plains. The lion faced off against the elephants with such raw courage and strength that the herd, intimidated by the sheer force of his presence, turned and fled. Marcus stood there, stunned, watching the lion, the very creature he had once feared, defend him with unwavering loyalty. In that moment, everything changed. Zola had not only accepted him, but he was willing to lay down his life to protect him. As the elephants disappeared into the distance, Marcus sank to his knees, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what had just occurred. The lion, once a symbol of fear and danger, had become something far greater. Zola had shown him that true trust wasn't built through words or promises. It was forged through actions, through sacrifices made in the face of danger. Marcus understood, in that powerful moment, that Zola wasn't just a lion. He was a living testament to everything Marcus had lost and everything he had rediscovered. Zola represented trust, survival, and the courage to face the unknown. The wilds of Africa had taught Marcus something profound, that redemption and connection often come from the most unlikely of places. The bond between Marcus and Zola was not built in the way most people build relationships. It wasn't about talking, it wasn't about being understood. It was about the unspoken connection they shared, a bond formed through shared experiences, silent understanding, and the willingness to fight for each other. They had become something greater than man and beast. They had become partners in survival. As they continued their journey together, Marcus learned more and more about himself. He learned about the strength that comes from vulnerability, the power of patience, and the importance of loyalty, even in the most unexpected places. He had once been lost, just like Zola, but now he was beginning to find his way, and so was the lion. But the true question is, have you ever faced your own fears? Have you ever found an unexpected ally in the most unlikely of places? A friendship that defied all logic and changed the course of your life? Share your story in the comments below, and let us know how you found trust in the most unexpected way. If this story touched your heart, if you felt the courage and power of trust that transcends words, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss another story like this one. Together, we'll discover more about the strength that lies deep within each of us, strength we often don't even know we have.